Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier. We are inside of game number 2 between Taco Gaming and Supernova, and Taco Gaming firing off already.
They are certainly got themselves a good advantage with that very close early game that they were then able to round out into a cohesive mid game, and from there on in never really looked back. We got to test our own little draft skills as well. We got a few bans on the board that we were expecting, but I think going into game number 2 we may expect to see a couple of different bans hit the table. Again, want to shout out Rovex's Tom Kench. I knew going into this that it was going to be a powerful playmaker, but the ability that you had and the amount of times you saved, just beautiful.
Bro, I'm tilted. I'm not even in that game, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to ever see Rovex's Tom Kench against me ever. Like, after seeing that, that's like, just no, never allowing that. But yeah, it was a full display of just what they were able to do. And that Senna Tom Kench, I feel like, had to turn some heads for Supernova, because it was a big thing, right? The Senna had 100% KP all the way up until the end of the game when there was a play that happened cross map. That unfortunately Gorka wasn't able to be a part of. So it is a very deadly thing, and Gorka is shown to be very adept at roaming just as much as Pluto was in that matchup.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, right, Senna maybe not the best roamer, but the fact that Gorka was there at the right time proved to be enough. Proved to be just like that stabilizing factor, I suppose, to make sure that Supernova weren't completely running over the other side of the rift and making sure that snowball continued to sort of really progress down that hill into something uncontrollable for Taco Gaming. So just the presence alone proved to be exactly what Gorka needed to be doing, and it's good to see that when you're playing this Senna TK, as the AD carry specifically, you have the map movements, you have the awareness to then go to the correct places on the map, something that we typically tout with the support players specifically, whether that's just Robex saying, okay, you need to roam here, or that's Gorka's presence of mind itself. Either way, the Taco Gaming bot lane as a whole certainly stepping up and certainly matching the very chaotic early game that Supernova tried to enforce on you.
I feel like we got a treat in the fact that we got to see both of the win cons that we saw from both teams come into full display there. We did get to see Supernova get that early lead. They were able to show a lot of early aggression, and I was personally a very big fan of how they fired back, right? Like, they had a really bad situation happen from some very smart play from City Witty right off the get-go, and that didn't knock Actor down. He went and said, all right, I'm invading you now. I'm going for this play. We're going for all this stuff, and Supernova definitely showing that they're very tenacious. They won't stay down, and even if you knock them down at the beginning of the game, they will try to find a way to brute force the lead back into their favor. It's just that I feel like they didn't get enough to feel comfortable, especially with Taco Gaming's team fight.
Yeah, they need to try and pick up a little bit better, I suppose, get more through those early stages. And honestly, the fact that they were able to do anything through that early game, let's remind ourselves as to how that level 1 started. It was City Witty dashing over the bot side wall to get a wraparound on Actor, to get first blood, to steal away the blue buffs that Actor 30-40 seconds behind on his clear, and then Supernova were still able to completely run over the topside jungle of Taco Gaming. The fact that that came to be a thing, absolutely incredible. Really genuinely very surprised that that was even a possibility for them that time round. So credit to Supernova. We know their early games are incredibly proficient. We need to see them potentially just dial in on that a little bit more, be a little bit more afraid of these peculiar level 1s that Taco Gaming have got, and then move their way forward from there.
Yeah, I think if you are able to weather a lot of what Taco Gaming has, the one thing you want to weather is, the team fighting's so good. You look at how they position inside of the fights, you look at them around neutral objectives, you just go into there with that assumption. I feel like Rovex does not get Tom Kench again, because I think that was a big linchpin in the fact of how they were able to save a lot of members. Because remember, we had 2 or 3 different moments where it was a pick that could have been brutal, but Tom Kench comes in and saves the day. Thomas Kenchington is not somebody to mess with, and I feel like Supernova learned that lesson in game number 1. We're back, same sides, see if the bands stay the same.
Start off, we have Talia. To start off, we've got Talia here. Nothing changing thus far. 1 for 1, 2 for 2. Last time around it was that Gallia, right? If you are Taco Gaming in this position, I'm not just going to repeat all the bans. You can just say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're probably likely to go back, say, hey, you know what? we'll do the same thing again. We want to get rid of the same 3 picks that we felt problematic, that if we ever played you again, we don't want to face. And so far they've done that. Supernova, they're the ones that make the adaptation. They get rid of their Karma ban, they put the Senna on the board, and they make that entire bot lane for Taco Gaming really inefficient, essentially. One of them's banned. Tom Kench can still be played, right? We saw Tom Kench be a very prevalent factor in spring. Whether or not he can still be that in summer when there are other enchanters, and Rovex as well loves an enchanter, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm actually curious too, because Gorka's very proficient, and we've seen, I believe, inside of the circuit qualifier, we've seen a Callista Tom Kench, but with Karma left open, I feel like they're just going to take that.
Like I say, it's not just a very good pick for Rovex, who loves enchanters down in the bot lane. It's also a flex pick for Taco Gaming. They do play with Ayukura taking this Karma into the mid lane. They've done it in the open qualifiers. They are quite happy to put her on a more supportive role. Certainly stands to reason, certainly makes sense here. And it's whether or not Supernova are willing and whether or not they respect this flex potential, because they may well go for something that is a little bit sort of powerful in that bot lane and try and throw down. It looks like that could be the case with the Lucian lock-in potential, just to take the Nami on 3 and have a pretty good time of things. But with Jhin Nami open, you could go for that, or they could just go Ez Karma. There's plenty of options. I also think Eclipse getting Gangplank is a bit of a mistake. I maybe would have liked to see that one hit the ban table, but either way, we're here. Eclipse has Gangplank. It's not going to get banned away in second rotation. And so far, Taco Gaming, I feel like I've got a very good set of pieces where Supernova also have that early game prio.
So, Citywitty just grabbed themselves Cosmets. This is exciting. While on the other side of things, so you have a lot of flexibility coming out. This is a Vladimir. This can easily shift between Meslo and Ariandel, and the Lucian could shift over to that mid lane. I was talking about it game number 1. We have seen a lot more Lilia Lucian combos coming up inside the tournament.
The flexibility of Supernova's composition is kind of unmatched right now. Lilia can be played in 2 lanes, can be played top and jungle. Lucian can be played in all 3 lanes. The Vladimir also top and mid. You could flex everything around to get yourself a lot of favorable lane matchups inside this game. Now, of course, the likelihood and what we expect is that we see a repeat of something that's been very prevalent in Academy, the GP vs Vlad matchup. You expect potentially this Lilia to stay in the jungle with 12-10. She's very strong in that role. Not necessarily so strong in the top lane when you're not against a tank. But the Kazakhs getting locked in, I feel like we should touch on a little bit, because that is such a powerful pick for Citywitty in particular. This is one of his specialities that he will whip out on a whim to try and really disturb team fights, try and make the enemy's life very, very difficult. And with that one being picked up, certainly something to keep our eyes on, as we know Actor potentially loves to go for those invades.
Yeah, and hey, look, if you're looking at somebody to adapt and evolve, hey, Citywitty's your man. While on the other side, Pluto goes for Old Faithful, gets the Nautilus.
Yeah, I think this is something that he's just been incredibly comfortable on. Certainly stands to reason going for the Nautilus. Worth mentioning as well, in that second round of bans, Taco Gaming opted to get rid of the Lucian Nami bot lane, so very nice stuff right there. But Taco Gaming now have their bot laner to pick and whatever mid lane or support they want to pair with it. Knowing they're going up against the Nautilus, locking in the hyper carry anyway, this speaks to confidence for Gorica, saying, you know what, I know that your Nautilus is here to answer what I'm putting down, but I do not care. I will simply pick a Kog'Maw anyway. If they can weather this early game, make sure that they're in a good spot, then they will be a-okay to set up for late game team fights. With this now Victor that they've also locked in with an enchanter at the backline, this Taco Gaming composition once again sets up for them team fighting very well.
Yeah, the team fighting is on the forefront of their mind, but Supernova looking to scale up with them with some of the tools that they do have, but they also pair it together with some nice early aggression. As we do see the misfortune, this does mean it is that Lucian Lilia combo that I was talking about in the previous game, where we have seen a lot of people be very aggressive. You see this a lot of time when you're like, all right, yo, put the pedal to the metal. We saw it to great success from Leo earlier on inside the tournament. So I'm excited to see Ariandel piloting this.
Now, when we've got this, I want to quickly, say we've got Lucian Vladimir, right? Double solo lanes, gonna wait for them to be locked in to see which goes. double flex capability. Okay, it is Ariandel taking that Lucian into the mid lane. Potentially going to be a very difficult matchup for Ayukura. Early on, Victor, really not a champion. Mid 2v2s, not going to go too great. Supernova, they've got this very powerful early game mid laner in the Lucian. If they pair up with Lilia, they should be able to find some nice leads. Kha'Zix, not the greatest necessarily at scrapping early on either. You really are looking for those isolated 1v1s, or, you know, if you get to those 2v2s, you need your level 6 essentially to try and cause some disruption. It's not a champion that they can take early game fights with. So for Supernova, their plan once again, batter down the hatches early game, see what gives. Let's put some pressure across most sides of the map to see what gives and where they can find their leads. If they can snowball an early game, that is what Supernova are very accustomed to. They may well be able to come away with a win in this one, because the early game tools from Taco Gaming are fairly non-existent. Like we say, Victor needs those Hex Core upgrades. The Cogmore scales into a beast later on, but it's not necessarily there, and Kha'Zix also needs that level 6. We've got Misfortune Nautilus in the bot lane.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a kill lane, this is one of the best that it goes. You've got Make It Rain with the Arcane Comet likely to come out from Tomato, so that makes that side of things even easier as well. There's a lot of early game power for Supernova to put down. It's whether or not they can put down enough to stop Taco Gaming.
I am personally a little scared for Taco Gaming. I feel like I look over at this composition and you hit a lot of the points that I'm worried about. There's nothing that really wins early on, right?
Yeah.
Like you got a team that has they showed their hand time and time again inside the circuit qualifier that they will be up in your face. They will try to establish gold leads. This composition is just like, okay, cool. We'll let you establish the gold leads. It's confidence that they can team fight their way out of it. They can play the game their way still in the mid game, and the lead won't be that big that Supernova will be able to draft. But it's still a bit worrisome. I feel like we've seen time and time again, and Supernova have tools in this Lucian Misfortune alone to really pump up the pressure.
And it is worth noting that it's not all doom and gloom for Taco in that very early stages. The notion of this top lane matchup I want to hit on quickly as well, that I think that the general consensus is at level 9 Vladimir starts to win, because he gets the transfusions, can generally sustain any of the damage that a GP is putting out at that point in the game. Pre-level 7, it depends on how the GP plays. It tends to have the advantage, and you can find that sustain comes through from Meslo at rank 4 of Q instead of the rank 5, but it really does depend if Eclipse has been able to pump out enough to scare this Vladimir off. Late game, there is just a little bit too much damage, and the notion is that, like I say, as we get to the later parts of the laning phase, Meslo should start to have that advantage, but to begin with, Eclipse has a bit of a onus, I suppose, to establish a bit of a lead.
Yeah, I'm actually a little interested in top lane too, because of the fact that, like you said, it's also two champions that scale pretty hard, right? They're big into team fights. They can control the game. Also, the fact that Meslo will just run at you. Where we talk about traditional top laners, they might wait to that level 9. But I can see a world where after Meslo go up topside and Eclipse finds himself in a weird situation that he has to figure out a way out of. There's no real CC, so he'll be able to hold on to the orange for quite a bit of time for anything really that could come his way. So that's fine, but it's still, I'm still a bit curious, man. I feel like even if the early game goes fine for Eclipse and he's able to scale reliably, and everybody's able to scale reliably, if Supernova plays the way that they played in the last bit, City Witty is not going to have any lanes that'll be able to move over to help him.
If Supernova play the way they did, everything is not going to be fine for Taco Gaming. I think if they put... The thing is, right, we're coming into this game, this is elimination match now for Supernova. If they lose this game, they are out of the tournament. This is a sort of staple of their style. It's not the champions that I necessarily associate with their players, but this is a similar style to how we anticipate they try to play through. If this is how they go down, it couldn't be in a more fitting fashion unless we saw Camille Gallio plus Kindred on for Actor, right? Those are the types of things that we've come to associate with this Supernova team. But if Taco Gaming are able to, like we've said, slow their roll and make sure that they aren't able to find those leads, we anticipate the late game goes fairly timing oriented. And I think that as Supernova, the way they've played out pretty much their entire season is this is exactly how they would want to go out. The ball is in their half of the court. Can they take it home?
can they be that proactive team that people have come to just expect them to be, right? Like, this is the team that has been known as the heartbeat of amateur in some promotions that they've done. This is the team that has been around since 2014. Quack! We got banners. Let's go. We're getting into game number 2, where it is do or die for Supernova on the red side, Taco Gaming on the blue side.
All the teams make their way out onto the Rift. Level 1 shenanigans. Should we expect anything else? Supernova 5-manning into the bot lane to see if they can find anybody. Unfortunately, they're not going to. They make their way into a bot brush with no contest, nobody there to use Nautilus hooks on to make it rain onto. It's a good time for me to mention then, you know, the build path that we sort of expected more so than anything else from Tomato has come to fruition. It's a tier start, make it rain start. The odds are that there's going to be Scorch, there's going to be anything in the arsenal to make this laning phase as brutal as possible for Gorica and Rovex.
It's a feels bad for the Kog'Maw. Does not want it to rain here. That is not the forecast they were looking forward to. Is definitely going to ruin their plans for the night, at least in the laning phase. And it is a troublesome spot. I do like the fact that Taco Gaming respects Pluto a lot in this matchup too, by the way, where they're just like, yo, Pluto, when he gets Nautilus, what's the first thing he's going to do? He's going to look at it, get that early kill. He is an aggressor on this champion.
They spotted Rovex in here. They might just blind hook and take the level 1 fight. Oh, Rovex backs out. Okay, didn't stick around, but okay. Early game shenanigans afoot once more as you can see the power of this early game.
There it is.
Yeah.
Gets the hook. Okay, nothing else to fall over to it, but look at this. Rovex just getting poked yet again.
Now, it's worth saying, you know, Kog'Maw, not the worst level 1 champion that you may look to think of as far as ADCs go. Not necessarily the best, but certainly can put out his own right of damage. Really does live and die by the Bio-Arcane Barrage. His W, if he's got that cooldown up, will be able to tussle.
He's looking to it, and in traditional Supernova standard, we have the level 2 Lilia goes to mid lane, pushes in the wave yet again, and look at this, the flash auto coming in from Pluto, holds onto the hook. Rovet's Ignite is ticking away, but they can't finish off the kill. The shield is there, and Gorica will fire back, but what a deadly trade is Meslo getting zoned out by Eclipse in the top side.
Yeah, all 3 summoner spells, or all 3 of the 4 summoner spells burned in the bot lane by Taco Gaming for 3 as well for Supernova. Importantly, the AD carry still has a flash. Tomato still able to get out from any dangerous positions. Early game of Supernova certainly starting to show its face. Worth mentioning as well that invade that we got to see a little glimpse of between the mid jungle netted a Raptor camp for Actor, where, Eclipse!
Flash going forward, he sees a kill, does not find it. Meslo is in a dangerous spot, has to keep in mind that Barrel is sitting there waiting menacingly.
But remember, Meslo has no TP. If he stays under this turret, if there's a dive angle before level 3 comes through, there's no pool. One more Q is going to do the job.
Yeah, you can see this. He's actually backing off immediately here, too. There's no flash available, but check this out. A beautiful hook. It hits hook, line, and sinker. They go. They find Gorica. The exhaust is used to keep Actor at bay, and it's first blood, the Supernova.
Down in the bot lane, exactly where we expected all of their action to come from. Pluto, nice hook there. Starts off proceedings, takes Gorica down. It is, however, at a cost. This top lane, certainly not in a good position for Supernova. That is not Meslo TPing back in. That is a TP from Ariandel after his presence shown in the bot lane. Look at this max range on the hook from the Nautilus. An Actor as well, it is worth mentioning. Burns his summoner spell, burns the flash to try and close the gap and take down 2. Rovex able to get out to safety, just barely has the distance to not get caught by either of the Lilia spells and just keeps himself alive right there. So only a 1-for-0 down on that bot side as things in this mid lane, well, they're going to change now because it's Meslo the mid laner. Quite rightly trying to save what was going to be a very difficult lane.
Yeah, and we know Lucian versus Gangplank. We've seen it time and time again. I do believe this is Ariandel coming back over here, so this will be a chance for them to recoup some of what they have here. They definitely want Ariandel in a position to move around the map. It's just traditional for Supernova at this point in time. As we see the Hextech Flash coming forward yet again onto Gorica. The Make It Rain, the slow from Glacial. They turn their attention onto Rovets. Ignite is there yet again. They get it. Pluto secures the kill, and he gets into the brush and gets out of range for Gorica, but Actor on the prowl might be looking for
hello. He says hello. The wave's getting pushed in. Gorica, buddy, your time is coming. It's worth mentioning. Sidiwiddy, he's on his way. Can he get here in time?
He's looking for it. Actor might be isolated for now, but he links up with Pluto, and a TP will be enough to stop the pressure from coming through. Just a plate netted for Supernova.
Saving Private Cogmore. It's Gorica able to stay under the turret city when he books it down from his topside jungle. I'll save you, buddy. Don't worry. Ayukura also expends her teleport, so TPing away from the mid lane misses out on a fair whack of minions under the turret as well. So this is a mid lane that's not going all that well for Taco Gaming. Bot lane too, but we mentioned this top lane. Eclipse favored in the early stages, and he is really showing why. Has no wards, and Ariandel on his way up through the river. Now can he find the 2v1?
Yeah, with level 6 for Eclipse, this could be a dangerous place. Here we go. It is Ariandel. You starting things off with the culling, trying to use it to see where Eclipse is at. Into the brush, is going to be able to tap away, trying to lay out a little bit more damage to keep him at bay. The artillery comes in. Meslo trying to see what he'll be able to do, has that pull available, and it's a beautiful use of the abilities that net Supernova a kill on the top side, but they do not know that there is a Kha'Zix waiting and is prowling through the bush. He finds his isolated target, and he will consume.
Wonderful from Sidiwiddy there. Salvages the play of the top side. We'll probably be able to hold this wave as well. Keep Eclipse's top lane not too badly positioned either. Meslo burns both summoner spells. Ariandel burns his flash. All three for the time that Eclipse was able to buy. Gets again Ayukura another good base off. The first one that Sheila found this game. Lost chapter now in the inventory. Look at how long it takes Ariandel. Look at the position of the mid lane. Victor doesn't push too well early on, but he was able to get this one under the turret with the time Ariandel spends. Very cognizant that the mana was low, but at a certain point, it just ends up having to face check. Flashes away from the barrel and just manages to DPS down the gangplank within enough time. But like you say, they don't see Sidiwiddy come into this brush. He spots Ariandel going in there, solo isolated. Thank you very much. Finds the 1-for-1, and after a play that was good overall.
Oh my god, Gorica.
Yeah, forces heal.
Yeah, he forces the heal and really is putting on the pressure there. That shield from the Karma, that move speed is so beautiful and has those berserkers. You cannot outrun this Cogma at the moment.
Red buff taken by Ariandel, giving again more agency to this mid laner, to this Lucian through the early stages to try and snowball that lead, to try and get more of an advantage up against the Victor. I want to quickly, once again, retouch on this top matchup. I know I've talked a lot about it. My ideal, right, when I said, okay, Victor, or rather Vladimir, wins this at level 9 if they both get there. The notion is that they both get there evenly, and that has not been the case. Eclipse is so far ahead already in experience that he's going to hit level 9 way before Meslo, and potentially hits level 10 before Meslo even gets there, before that big before that big level spike starts to come through. And with that, it makes that top lane matchup so much better for Taco Game. It makes their map as a whole so much better because they have that crucial winning lane. They've got a crutch that they can fall back on, that they can utilize through the mid stages.
And another good thing is Sidiwiddy was able to find a kill, right? Sidiwiddy has kind of been quiet inside this game. In the last game, we saw this Graves all around the map was trying to do stuff, but he's kind of had to come in and try to salvage some of the plays. We saw him make that run into the bot lane in the last play, and then the play before that had to immediately sprint it straight to the top side of the map. And his CS shows that, right? He hasn't been able to clear up camps. He's been getting counter jungled. It has been a little bit of a rough go for Sidiwiddy in comparison to the last game, but he's still finding these little moments and making the most out of it.
Yeah, certainly playing a more supportive style on the Kha'Zix this time around. Not something that we are used to saying, but is down, well, was down 2 levels until that Drake went down, you know, sizable amounts of CS, but has done what was necessary for the team so far, securing that dragon. Potentially going to be looking to make some more moves with that level 6 coming through, and having the evolved camouflage. It's worth noting that he's going to be, you know, evolving the R first of all. Always good to see where we're going with our Kha'Zixes. But that means that your skirmish capability certainly increasing, makes you much more difficult to kill, doesn't amp your damage too much outside of the extra passive proc, which is of course when you are unseen, it means you get an extra little boost to your auto attacks, or to your first auto attack. But outside of that, it's not too combat oriented, other than just creating spaces of lack of information, uncertainty for the enemy team.
Yeah. Wanting to spread a little bit of fear. Also, want to bring up, Actor is going for that Riftmaker this time around on the Lilia. I did just look over at that. So some differences in itemization, but the Chaos Storm being dropped onto Ariandel. They're looking to see if they can punish him. Laser there. Actor's there to cover as well. So just a little bit of a trade. City Witty even ulting for that.
Nicely done. Gets away with it, and you know, gets a Victor ulti. Gorica needs to be careful.
Yes, yet again, they are looking to continue to press this. 4 people are down here at bot lane. They want these plates. They are going to be able to secure some for Tomato here. Oh, are they? Wait a second.
Yeah.
They
No
get
way.
it. The Woodsy Lullaby is there. It is going to be the bullet time, and it hurts. It hits like a truck. City Witty goes down. Actor, the signals have been called. It's time to dive, boys. Supernova find 3 kills bot lane.
And nothing back in response. A gorgeous execution of the play down in the bot side. Supernova take all 3 members. The beauty of this composition, Lilting Lullaby is not interrupted by bullet time. It's a damage over time spell that doesn't interrupt the sleep. You can stay in there the whole darn time. Look at him just getting piled on by the shreds, the hail of bullets. And then Gorica and Rovex, there's really nothing for them to do here. You just go down, you just die. And the Kog'Maw passive, as valiant as Gorica's attempts were not enough. And again, Taco Gaming punished in the bot lane.
This is great for Supernova. They're really finding good catches here, and it feels like, yet again, it's the point that we were talking about inside the draft, where they do have some curious situations where Supernova feels their best at the early game. Wait a second, we gotta play in the mid lane. What's happening? Ariandel gets dropped! A Chaos Storm is there, the Gravity Well as well. That is a kill going over to this Victor. Very well done.
Yeah, huge,
that's
honestly.
low.
2 kills for Taco Gaming. Just as we were praising the early game credits of Supernova, their ability to move as a team, as a unit, they get taken down. 2 of their solo laners falling at crucial item spikes. Ayukura and Eclipse make the most of them with the Ludens completed. That full Trinity Force just 12 minutes into the game. It's Eclipse that's able to make the difference in the top lane, and a nice combined effort in that mid lane that takes down Ariandel once again. Taco Gaming, they've had a lot of trials down in that bot side that haven't gone their way, but their top side of the map is just going so well right now.
You were hyping up Eclipse at the very beginning. Even before we went live, you were like, Eclipse is somebody I really want to keep my eyes on. Look, we are getting a showcase on why you keep an eye on this prospect right now. He is up in CS. He's doing great. Second game on the Gangplank, and is doing phenomenal for themselves. So this Gangplank is looking pretty good. Eclipse, seeing if he'll be able to translate yet another early game lead. But on the opposite side of things, I want to highlight Tomato is looking so scary strong.
Ooh, Lilting Lullaby.
Trying to get into range. Can they pop him? The shields are there. The artillery as well. City Witty trying to jump into the fight. The culling is there. Tomato is on a rampage.
2 for 1 in the bot side. City Witty just tastes the fear of Actor and finds a 2 for 1 in exchange, but it is as well this bot lane tier 1 turret going down. Overall, a very positive play for Supernova. More gold put into the young upstart for bot lane as top lane.
Yeah, he's just hitting barrels right now. He is definitely having to make sure that he played that right. One slow would have been all she wrote. Ikura, she got here. Ariandel.
They just took Dragon Ayu. You know, we're gonna hop into the replay of the bot side fight. It is Gorica obviously getting a little bit caught. City Witty elects to go for the kill as opposed to blocking that hook and tanking the full exchange. Do get that mid lane in the picture. Looks like Ayukura got out to safety, and potentially Ariandel's now in trouble.
Yeah, looking for more. Eclipse got another barrel in the pocket, I'm sure, and they immediately call that. Supernova back away. Ariandel dropped down so low. Same can be said for Pluto as well as Supernova. They're trying to extend their lead, right? This is a We're almost 15 minutes into the game. 2K lead. That wasn't enough for Supernova last game.
And they have got more tools to start things off, I will say, through these early games. More ease of execution in particular. Pluto with the Nautilus can start a fight pretty much at will if you're in range to use the depth charge and find somebody isolated. Trade of the Dragon for the Rift Herald now for Supernova, another great tool to extend early game advantages. The issue that they're going to have is that they don't have that early game win condition of a Soul. 2 Dragons that have gone the way of Taco Gaming. The isolation damage from a Kha'Zix really helping out Sidiwiddy when trying to take those down. And if Supernova are trying to make that win condition come through, it's going to be from the Baron.
Yeah, they've got second Rift Herald, so they do have a way to give themselves a little bit more influx of gold if they're able to pilot it correctly. That will be yet to be seen, right? This is the point in time where Taco Gaming starts moving around the map. They're starting to group together yet again. Gore Drinker has been completed on the Kha'Zix. We're starting to see some of these mythics being completed time and time again as we're looking across the table. So keeping our eyes peeled on what exactly Supernova set their sights onto next. Sidiwiddy goes invisible,
Hello.
finds Pluto. Hello, he's knocking. Pluto trying to figure out if he should flash over the wall, but he just understands that's a shutdown he'll have to give over.
Oh, and a nice play by Sidiwiddy there, just using the vision as he goes in, tries to get the Gromp, not going to be successful. Zariandel here to try and defend, try and help out. One bounty of the bot lane claimed by Taco Gaming. Can they find that second one? The elusive tomato bounty, looking to work toward that Muramana and then likely the Cyrildas as that third item to be completed and really set up for a terrifying team fight.
Eclipse is caught out of position here. He's going to have to go night-night, but he eats an orange, and that's enough to keep him awake all night. It's got that extra dose of caffeine, but it's not enough to deal with Tomato, who comes in and lays in the hurt. As Supernova trying to pick up some kills, as see Taco Gaming trying to push for some of these objectives.
Yeah, trying to get a cross-map play with the with the mid lane tier 1 turret. Unfortunately, couldn't get there. Rovex and Gorica had just found a reset, so the timing there just slightly off. Eclipse caught too far forward in the lane and does get punished quite rightly. Actor's movement speed on the Lilia is enough to get out of the GP or get away from any source of danger that was likely to be lethal. But now they're looking to try and take this mid tier 1 turret in response. It's going to be very successful. Rift Herald, a very good demolitionist, using that second one to garner themselves a lot of mid lane control.
Get themselves that mid tower, find themselves a little bit more gold in the pocket. They're currently sitting at about 3k up, so good for Supernova to carry out a lead. It's just about how do they use it. This next dragon has to be one that they're keeping their eyes posted upon, right? Like, they do not want to put Taco Gaming at soul point, especially with this early contention. You can even see the gold that is there for these players and the individuals, and you see a lot of it's on this Lilia.
Let me show you and draw your attention to the disparities of the game.
Look
at the ADCs. Tomato has a 3k gold lead over Gorica. Look at your junglers, about 1400 there. But then on the flip side, we look at the top lane, and there's a 2.5k gold for Eclipse. Those are your key power points. It's Tomato versus Eclipse. Actor has a little bit more agency over Sidiwiddy. Has got a couple well, relative to the the game itself. These levels are starting to mean more and more, and with Actor having level 2 Lilting Lullaby, extended timing on the sleep.
After looking to try and see who he can get, the Wilting Lullaby came in, but Sidiwiddy was just out of range. As Actor has that level advantage and is trying to show it.
Big cooldown before the Drake goes up as well, so not having that ulti certainly could be fairly prevalent. Eclipse is making waves in that top side. Drake spawning in less than a minute's time here, about 50 seconds on that one. And Eclipse is currently unanswered. He's got teleport as well. If nobody goes up to match him, he's just going to take this turret with the Demolish in the back pocket. GP takes turrets incredibly quickly with the Trial by Fire, particularly when you can reset it as well.
Sidiwiddy. They're catching out Meslo. They're seeing what they can do. They're trying to turn the tides, though. Sidiwiddy might be invisible, but he's still taking a hurt. There's going to be a TP dropping into this bot lane play, and it is Eclipse. The raid boss has shown up. He's looking to see if he can fire away with the pistol, but the re-engage coming in from Pluto. They get the damage, and that is Victor taken off the map. Now, Gorka has came in Will he be enough? He's hiding inside this bush, does not get seen, is not spotted at the current moment in time, but now the fight around the dragon can occur. It is spawning here in the next 5 seconds.
Eclipse is still a big threat here. Crucial cooldowns not available. That little lullaby starting to come up. No depth charge. And Siddy Widdy, no void assault. Can't get in unseen.
They cannot get in unseen. The wilting lullaby is available as well. It takes one misplay, one moment, and here we go. Pluto goes in for the engagement, and it's a bullet time, and Eclipse cannot deal with all that damage. Tomato is dominated, but look at this. This fight's lasted so long. That is the victor who gets the TP into the fight, and this is a massive boom from Taco Gaming as they come in clutch. Find 2 kills. They're looking for more. They got shutdowns on the mine. Kha'Zix will get dropped, but Gorica continues to fire away. He is the living artillery,
one more,
and he is looking to decimate the HP bars. Furthermore, the Chaos Storm gets dropped on top of Meslo. They're getting the kills that are needed. He stopped the back of Ariandel, but it is a huge team fight for Taco Gaming.
Oh, 4 for 2. The dragon goes their way once again. Soul point for Taco Gaming in a fight that they were down in numbers. The cooldowns just proved too much. This looked like it was just going to be a 3v5. Pluto starts off by taking down that powerful gangplank from the top lane, the one we highlighted as the powerful carry, but it wasn't enough. 5v3 at this point, but Ayakura's TP comes on through and it's able to turn the tides of this fight. One laser finishes off Axa, that secures the smite for Siddy Widdy, and the stasis stops her from going down, and from here on in, Supernova on full retreat. A couple of awkward auto attacks here. Tomato stops to hit the blue ward that is just placed down by Gorica and gets taken out as well. The fight was so close for so long, but once again just explodes in a second.
That was a huge shift in goal too, right? Like, that was a big change there. They're looking for a wilting lullaby. They get it on the 2 good members, but they can't solidify anything else. Siddy Widdy gets jumped onto while everybody else is snoozing. But right now, this Kog'Maw is actually somebody terrifying you have to deal with. The gravity field is there. Meslo getting chipped down, and yet again the trading of abilities going back and forth. Pluto looking for another anchor toss. The Chaos Storm is there. Look at Pluto's HP bar. He is gone. Ariandel on the side gets a beautiful flank off. It's Ayakura getting the kill onto Nalus, but it's traded. Gangplank finding Lilia, but look at the bullet time. A triple kill for Tomato.
The angle was beautiful, and Tomato sets himself up, knocks them down. All of Supernova's early game power was put into this ADC. He steps up when the time is right. As soon as Taco Gaming look like they're going to start rolling over fights, Tomato says no thank you. He saves the bullet time for the crucial moment and turns the fight back in their favour. Taco Gaming haven't won this one just yet, and Supernova are going to kick till the end.
Yeah, it's back to an even state in the gold here, and that was such a big saving moment. These 2 marksmen coming in clutch inside of the team fight. Eclipse is going to be able to find Ariandel. This is not the situation they want to be inside of. He's going to try and dash away, but he cannot get far enough. That barrel hurts, and it is Ariandel dropped.
35% chance that it crits, and fortunately Eclipse rolls the nat 20 on that one, finds the crit to the face. Ariandel falls now with no mid laner on the map. Taco Gaming, 23 minutes into this game, they look up toward the top side. What is their priority going to be? They may well catch Pluto.
Yeah, they're looking to catch him. Meslo is here to back him up. He's so weak at this current moment in time. Gorica was able to fire away from about that wall.
No.
Pluto, you do not want to catch these hands. It is Eclipse back over here towards the bottom side, trying to draw up pressure. Tomato is here as well. They will find the kill. That is a shutdown, but that is the go trigger for them to go for Despair, and Taco Gaming now looking to shred this.
Meslo and Ariandel, the 2 solo laners of Supernova, have to try and defend this. This has been fairly slow so far. They may well be able to get in. Taco Gaming, commit or turn? What's your call?
They are leaving here. They do not want to test these waters. This Victor can put out the damage that can be needed. The Kog'Maw as well, but they know the tools are still available. Wilting Lullaby still there. Bullet time as well. This is a mid-tower drop in favor of Supernova.
They expended their play to try and get the Baron, not pushing for any turrets. They're unsuccessful, and Supernova punish once again. Eclipse that time caught out Thought his team could get something a little bit more, but it's not the case. Good response. They did burn the TP of their mid laner, which means their cross maps now going to be a little bit harder. Ariandel would be the one that they'd send into that bot side. Meslo, of course, running the Ghost Ignite this game, not got that cross map capability himself. We are just 30 seconds away from the Cloud Soul. Supernova have completely swept out the vision from the river and the bot side of Taco Gaming. They're having to face check every single brush and every single way into this river. Importantly, Sidiwidi's found his way back. He's actually behind Supernova right now, and so is Eclipse. They could be pincering in.
Yeah, this is a fight on all fronts that might be coming out. They spot Sidiwidi. They want to get him. They want to make sure that there is no jungler available for it, but they
look at the gangplank.
Eclipse. Eclipse is coming around from the side. He is looking for the barrel drop. Does not catch out onto Tomato. Beautiful flash to be able to disengage as Actor is dropped down so very low. Has to watch out how he'll place this fight, but Pluto gets dropped. The bullet time is there, laying in a good amount of damage. Sidiwidi taking a good hurting as well. Tomato is on a rampage. It is a 4v4 now. This fight could decide it all between these two teams. They are laying it all out here. Actor still able to resuscitate himself. Has some berries to be able to snack on. He's got the red buff as well. The H buff is there. Revette's over here onto the side with that Karma, looking to lay out some good poke. But look at Tomato on the side. He's going for a deep flank on the Misfortune. This is chaos between these two teams. They are looking for a fight, but they can't find who draws first blood. Ayakir is going to get jumped onto. Ariandel gets exhausted. Meslo has to go back down into the Gorka gets the big kill into the back. It is going to be a triple for Eclipse, and that is soul for Taco Gaming.
One barrel decides the fight. Eclipse was looking for it for so long. It took about 2 minutes of dancing before he finds the crucial cooldown needed. 4 members of Taco Gaming are going to race up to the Baron. They've secured the Cloud Soul. They secured the team fight victory. And Pluto, the solo remaining member, going to have to sit back and watch as this Baron falls.
It is rough for him to do. He's just trying to salvage these waves like you were talking about. This Baron is going to go. There's nothing he can do to contest this at this current moment in time. And you can even see a replay of how this fight turned out.
It takes them so long to kill Ayukura. Those auto attacks would just do it. The Piercing Light should just do it, but Robex with Exhaust with Moonstone buys Ayukura just enough time. Barrel topside, look at that. Gorgeous from Eclipse. Nails 2 people and takes them both down. The Baron is picked up. We come out of the replay and all 5 members of Taco Gaming are eating good today. They've got 2 turrets outside the base to go for. Last time, Travi, they did not care. They took 2 turrets and they tried to take the game near after. We'll have to see if they can manage that one once more.
Pluto is here waiting. Ooh. He wants this Kog'Maw right now. Eclipse is here as well. They are going to be able to spot him. There is going to be the depth charge. They want to be able to get this crucial play onto him. They're going to be able to get just that too. Kog'Maw goes down, but at what cost must you pay? It is Eclipse who is making sure to darken the day of Supernova. It's a double kill coming out. Kazit solo pushing up the mid lane, grabbing turret after turret. Supernova on the retreat. There is nothing there be able to do. Ariandel looking for the catch out, trying to see if he can get the victor. But the laser disintegrates all his hopes, and it's just Actor to try and defend the base, but it's not going to be enough as 4 members of Taco Gaming are going to be bearing down into the Nexus.
And credit to Supernova, they fought till the very end. They fought with the Baron up against them. They went for the play in the bot lane, and yes, they got Gorica. But there was still Ayukura, there was still Eclipse. The mammoth from the top lane came down and smoked Supernova.
Absolutely. Taco Gaming are going to look to see another Tuesday as they find themselves a 2-0 against Supernova, and they move on to playoffs.
A valiant effort from both sides. Supernova can hang their heads high after that series. It was a great effort. Their first 10-15 minutes looked unshakable. But Taco Gaming, we knew that was the game plan coming in. Sit back, wait and see if they can keep themselves close enough to find the win. and they did just that. Eclipse from the top lane did not care for the early game shenanigans of Supernova, was constantly punishing Meslo. The lack of TP really set him quite far behind, and with Ghost Ignite, you looking for that aggressive style did not manage to come through. Eclipse was that linchpin from the early game that kept Taco Gaming in it, and he was the linchpin in the late game that won them all the team fights. Beautiful barrels time and time again, came up huge when needed, and a very well played series by him specifically.
I personally, I want to give a shout out to all of Taco Gaming for how they played inside that series too, because one of the key things that we noticed inside of game number 2, a lot of those fights that were big fights that they were able to win off of were fights that lasted for like over a minute's time, right? Like they would start off with the fight as a loss, and then somebody would TP in because they died, and they were able to just shore up their weaknesses. They said, all right, we'll go for a defensive stance, we'll bide our time, we won't let Supernova find that moment to take advantage. And it was just beautiful. It just, yet again, it's just a showcase of what Taco Gaming can do when they are able to team fight, when they're able to decisively call for their fights. It's beautiful for them.
It was truly a very close set of games, but Taco Gaming once again complete the 2-0, send themselves through to the playoffs. A lovely series of plays by them all told.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to take ourselves a short break. We do have an interview with Taco Gaming coming up, so make sure you don't touch that browser, as we will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier. I am joined here with Taco from Taco Gaming. How's it going, man? You guys are going into the playoffs. Got to feel great.
Yeah, I mean, last week we faced EGP, and it was a bit of a rough match. I definitely still tell people today that it was a winnable match. Doesn't matter though, today we had to play Supernova. Early game, a little bit messy, but I trust my team. I know my players. I knew we were always going to be able to pull it off.
Were you guys worried at all going into it? Talking about the early game that this squad from Supernova likes to do. I noticed you guys put some attention in bans towards that Ariandel combo that goes along with Actor. Was there any specific plan in comms or anything y'all were watching out for?
Last time we faced Supernova, I know we skipped out on the Galio ban, and we also skipped out on the Gwen ban, which made things a little hard. I think Ariandel, you have to respect the champions that he brings, as well as Actor. I think as a mid-jungle duo, they're pretty good, so we just had to throw some attention their way. But we had our own plan. We stuck to it very well. We drafted the way our team likes to play, trying to throw a little bit of versatility in for our future matches. But yeah, I think we did a good job. I think we drafted properly around the way we expected Supernova to play. We had a good day today.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys kind of had Eclipse popping off inside this game, so I feel like your players definitely had their moments.
Yeah, Eclipse did so good. Ayukura also had some amazing plays. Everyone really just showed up today when they needed to, and it worked out really well.
And hey, look, y'all get to go for another Tuesday. I know a lot of people are excited for that. Is the Taco Tuesday buff real for you guys? Is this something that you guys celebrate? Is there a different energy on Tuesdays?
So last split, it was a bit of like I wouldn't say a hindrance, but it was just like Tuesday, whatever. We don't care about Tuesday. But now this split, there's a little bit more like energy. Everyone's just like, oh man, it's Tuesday, gotta get ready, Taco Tuesday. There's definitely a little bit of hype. I think it's definitely gonna play into tomorrow. You're gonna see a little bit more, maybe some more action from our side, maybe a bit more nerves from the enemy team, but it should be a banger tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah, you talked about EGP faced you. I remember some of the players put out tweets saying like, I don't want to ever go through the mental stress of Taco Gaming on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Not a lot of teams have that kind of like day or time where you're just like, oh, like for example, there's no like Supernova Day or whatever. Like Taco Tuesday, like that's our thing. Not a lot of teams have that, and it gives us a little chip on our shoulder sometimes.
I hear you. Well, next game is 100 Thieves Nets, I believe, if I remember the bracket correctly. You got anything that you would like to say to... Do you want to prepare them at all for what Taco Tuesday comes to bring? Do you think they're ready for that?
I only got something to say to one player. I want to send a message to my boy Lens. is that get ready for tomorrow, because we're gonna come ready and we're gonna beat you tomorrow.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. And last words that you got, Taco, on the day here as you guys are victorious and moving on to playoffs.
I want to give a big thank you to all my players, past and present. I love all the players that I bring into this organization. Rovex, he's been here day one since we brought him in. All the players show a lot of love for each other, a lot of camaraderie. We do it because we know we're good. We do it to win. We do it because we believe in each other, and it goes a long way. And it definitely shows in our performance. You can see that our players trust in each other, and I'm so grateful for everyone as well. It's gonna be a fun split. I can't wait.
I'm excited for it as well. Thank you so much, Taco, for the interview, and best of luck in your future games. We're going to take ourselves a short break, and when we come back, we'll be going into some more Proving Grounds actions. We had Junior Turmeric taking on third party, so make sure you do not touch that browser.